although all that much didn't happen in the race itself, there was some playoff drama that did happen, and we are going to go into that, and we are going to look at the bubble, the playoff standings, and how everything stands going into Talladega. Also going to give some advice to some of these teams that probably won't listen to me, obviously. They're going to do their own thing, but some helpful advice for those teams. If you want to know this week's schedule for videos, go to my Twitter. It's my pinned tweet right now. But I'll give you a quick update. Tomorrow, I will do a football video. And then Wednesday, I will do a big announcement video. Big announcement. Thursday, I will do rather a Texas OU preview or Talladega. Friday will be one of the other ones. Saturday, to be determined, and Sunday, to be determined. So, let's get into it. Obviously, Kyle Larson, with a win, advances. He doesn't have to worry about Talladega. He is woot celebrating. Big win for that team. Big win for him. His first win of 2019. His first win since 2017. First time that Chip Ganassi Racing gets into the round of 8. There's a lot of firsts for that team. But big deal for them. Very, very good for them. They need that momentum. They needed that win. They were on the bubble as is. Tied for that final spot going into this race, obviously. So it was going to be a tight battle for that position, but with a win, obviously, that locks them in. And has a big advantage for them and gets them 5 extra playoff points that I think they're going to need more to advance out of the round of 8 to the championship for. Martin Truex Jr. sits 63 points above. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch sit 48 points above. Harvick 42 points above. Keselowski 20 points above. Bowman 17 above. And then tied for the last spot, Byron and Logano. Byron with the tiebreaker because he has a higher finish this round. Clint Boyer 4 points below. Elliott 7 points below. And Blaney 22 points below. So we're going to go through each of these drivers' days kind of and then like just what to do for Talladega. Martin Truex Jr. solid day. Won a stage. And finished second in the race. So really good day for him. He continues his playoff hot streak. But 63 points above. Him through Kevin Harvick. Just lay back all day at Talladega. Just kind of sit back, relax. Don't get in a crash and you'll be fine. You'll keep that gap most likely because at least 4 of these guys will get in a crash or incident at the race this weekend. So just back it off a little bit. Don't be too aggressive. Don't go for any stage points or anything. Just sit in the back all day until the crap happens. That's my advice for those 4 teams. Hamlin won a stage this weekend. Kyle Busch, solid weekend. Kevin Harvick, solid weekend. So that's my advice for those guys. Brad Keselowski and Alex Bowman, they're a bit of a different situation. They got a good gap, all right? But it is Talladega. But the good news for Keselowski, Talladega is one of his best tracks. He has a few wins there. He knows how to get it done at this track. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him going for a win and some playoff points. But at the same time, he can't be over-aggressive because if he does crash, he will definitely be below the playoff line, assuming some of these guys do better than him in the race. So if he messes up and crashes, that could ruin his chances. So I think he could be a little bit aggressive, but he can't be too aggressive. So he can go for some stage points, stage wins, even the race win, but he just don't be too aggressive for Keselowski. Same for Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman going to a track where he finished runner-up in the spring. He can be aggressive, but not too aggressive. Now remember that. 17 points above, that is a solid gap. That's kind of hard to make up, but it could all end like that at Talladega, so don't be over-aggressive, Alex Bowman. William Byron through Ryan Blaney go for as many points as possible. William Byron and Joey Logano are different. William Byron yet to get a career win. Talladega, obviously, great shot for anyone to get their first career win. But the Hendrick cars have been running well recently. And, of course, they won this race in the spring. The Chevys worked very well at Talladega together in the spring. So if William Byron could be the best Chevy car, maybe be the front of that pack, he will burst the playoff bubble, get his first career win, and jump up to the front. As for Joey Logano has done very well at this track in the past. He has, just like his teammate, very well at this track, multiple wins, knows how to get it done. So I would not be surprised to see him as one of the top contenders for the win at the end of this race, assuming he doesn't screw up. So Byron and Logano, I think they got to go for as many points as possible. Go for stage points, go for stage wins, go for the race win just to advance, try to get as many wins or points as possible. Clint Boyer and Chase Elliott, I'd say the same thing. They're not a ton of points back. They can make that up in one stage, but at the same time, they cannot be overly aggressive. if they were to crash early on, that could be detrimental to their playoff hopes. If they were to crash in the first stage or something and everyone else were to do better than them, they would be in a must-win situation going to Kansas, which is something you don't want to do. Chase Elliott, he won this race last year, or the Kansas race last year, but he hasn't done too great on mile and a half this year. He got top 5 at Kansas in the spring, but nothing really extraordinary this year. So I think Elliott's got to have a good finish. Boyer, they haven't had winning speed all year, so they're going to have to get as many points as possible in this race, and they cannot afford to fall behind, especially in a big gap going into Kansas. Ryan Blaney, he's going to have to be ultra aggressive. He's going to have to go for as many stage points, and he's going to have to go for the win. If Blaney can't make up points in this race, he's going to have to win at Kansas, a track that he's had success at. But the good news for Ryan Blaney is that his 2 Penske teammates are very good at this track. Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano have won there before. They know how to get it done. Team Penske has always built great cars for this track. So Ryan Blaney being in that garage, being in that same organization will definitely help him out in the long haul, but he's going to need to make up a lot of points going into Talladega. He's going to just have to make up points, whether it be stages or winning the race, because must win going into Kansas is not what he wants. Where he's going to have to compete with guys for the win like Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick. That's going to be tough to beat. So Ryan Blaney going to have to get as many points as possible this weekend if he cannot win. So that's basically your rundown on the playoff bubble. Don't screw up, basically. For those first 4 guys on points, just stay in the back. Don't do anything stupid. Don't get involved in anything. It could ruin your chances. As for Keselowski and Bowman, you can be aggressive, but don't be too aggressive. And then Byron on down, go for as many points as possible. And then Ryan Blaney is the only one I can say that can be ultra aggressive and going for every point, because he is kind of in that situation where he needs every point possible. Now, going back to last week, obviously Joey Logano, the issue that he had, him and Chase Elliott are living examples of how much playoff points are worth. Joey Logano had 29 playoff points going into this round. Broken axle before the race even started, finished 34th. If he had none of those playoff points, he'd be over 30 points beyond the cutoff line right now in a must-win situation, most likely. Same thing for Chase Elliott. If he didn't have those 24 playoff points, he would be 30 or so points below the cutoff line. He'd be in a must-win situation right now. So they are living examples of playoff points and how important they are. Obviously, they both had issues this weekend. Logano with the broken axle, Elliott blowing an engine early on, and then Blaney, another example of someone who had an issue this weekend with brake problems. He did not have that many playoff points, but he got kind of lucky with his point situation, only 22 behind. It could have been much worse, but obviously Logano and Elliott kind of helping that out a little bit. But and then Byron, obviously, his speeding penalty kind of hurt or helped Blaney as well, because Byron, if he had finished top 5 or top 7 where he was running all day, that's another 6 or 7 points right there, and that puts Blaney 30 back. So it'll be interesting to see how it turns out this weekend. If there's going to be it could be carnage, it could be it's going to be a Talladega race. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it, but thank you for watching this playoff bubble. Isn't that a fun time to be alive, especially going into Talladega? No one is safe at Talladega, except for Kyle Larson, because he won. He got those 5 playoff points and an advancement into the next round. Now, you're going to like this video, and you're definitely going to subscribe.